This is your host, Rambunctious.
And your co-host, Tayamu Denku. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick the passion.
All right, welcome to Pick Apart the Passion podcast.
Let's go.
I am your host, Rambunctious. And also to my left, right, I can't figure out how I'm doing this because of Zoom. My guy, Jason Danku Miller.
Peace.
You know what I mean? And we're going to get it in. Today, we have the host of Night of Words that was at Cafe Coda. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we have Pen Gods 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, sir.
Author and
Yes,
host
sir.
of other authors.
Yep.
This dude has written 4 books. One was Porter Ave. I remember he's from Beloit.
That was a series. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He incredible writer, man. That just straight up. We go back a little bit here and we don't kick it. You see him smiling because he already knows it's gonna be jokes. It's gonna be fun. You know what I'm saying? But
yes, sir.
This is my man, R.R. Moore.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say his
nice
correct
interest.
name because he was saying I didn't say it right. His actual name is Rosse.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what's good, R.R. Moore? How you
What
doing,
it
brother?
do, man? What it
Man,
do?
you
Thanks
know.
for having me, man.
Of course.
Glad to
of
be
course.
here, man. Glad to
Of
be
course.
here. That's what's happening.
I'm
Nice
already
intro.
excited.
Nice intro. I like that.
That's what's
I like
up,
that.
man. That's what's up.
You've hosted before, haven't you? You've done this before, haven't you?
You know,
That's
my
pretty
past
good.
life, I did a little hosting.
He did a
Yeah.
couple things.
All right. That was dope. Good job. Good job.
I'm just trying to be Brian Gumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't even know what to say to that. I love it. All right. So, yo, man, so you are a spoken word poet and author.
Yeah.
You are originally from Beloit?
Yes.
Okay.
Born and raised in Beloit. I was born in Beloit. Spent a little time in Rockford, then moved back to
Okay.
Beloit. Mostly Beloit. Lived in Jackson, Mississippi for a moment. Lived in outside of Davidson, right outside of Flint, Michigan for a moment. Presently been in Madison for about 3 years in a row right now, but Beloit, Madison area, Wisconsin cat. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, Danku's in Milwaukee. Obviously, you know, I'm in Madison.
For sure.
So, I'm gonna just start it off like this. What got you into writing in general? What got you into poetry in general? And then if you want to talk about what got you into saying, you know what, this needs to be books. You know what I mean? I want to be an author per se, instead of just, you know, writing some poetry, doing spoken word. You said, nah, son, I'm doing books. So talk about all that. What was the first thing that got you into writing, whether it was 3rd grade English class, you know what I mean?
So I've always been around books, just the places where I live were homes full of books. Across the street from a library. I've always read books. I have an older sister, my older sister Felicia. She always read books, and me trying to be like my big sister, I'm reading books behind her too. So it's like, I remember being younger, having dreams when I get rich. And part of me being rich was having a big old mansion. And part of this mansion was this huge library. That was part of being rich to me.
That was your vision.
Chef story.
Okay.
Pizza here. But
all good. We all eat. So everybody watch Pick Apart the Passion podcast eats. It's all good.
Good, because I'm waiting. I don't know how you cleared off the space for it and everything. Come on with it. But no, I feel like I thought reading books were normal. Like, you know what I mean? As I got older, even when I'm in the streets, the homies will be waiting on me to finish reading this chapter before I come outside and hit the blunt. You know what I'm saying? I've always read big books, Stephen King, Dean Koontz, Patterson. I've just always been a reader. So I knew that I could write a book. I just knew it since I could, because I always read a lot. There's never a time when I wasn't reading. I was reading when I was 4, when I was 9, when I was 12. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't try it until 2009.
Oh, okay.
I would always write down little things for a book. Not rap. I never tried to be a rapper or nothing. Never wrote down things that rhymed or nothing, no poems or nothing. I just tried to write little snippets
just your
of the
thoughts
book.
and creative.
Yeah, of how I'm going to write a book when I wrote it. 2009, I wrote my first book, and I wrote my first book on a piece of paper,
And
on a
what's
notebook
that?
paper with
Did you have a
pencil.
title to that, or
Rest in Greed. My first
Okay.
book, Rest in
Okay.
Greed.
Okay.
I wrote that on a notebook paper with a pencil.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote it with a pencil. Every now and then erased it, but it was like one of them zones where I didn't make no mistakes. I knew what I was on, you know what I mean? I was there for the first one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like, it was an impulsive. You couldn't help it. It was.
Hey, wait, can you give me some pizza? Can you give me some pizza, please? These fucking kids.
Hey, you know what's crazy about so you never tried to be a rapper.
Both.
You never tried
What'd
to
you
be a
say?
rapper. You never tried to be a rapper. The thing that's funny about that is I've been doing rap for 25 years, but I actually used to write short stories in high school.
Nice.
Before I ever started rapping, me personally, before I ever wrote raps, I wrote short stories.
And we talked about that the last episode with Case Joint Longevity. I wrote poems before I wrote raps. And I wrote this poem about my playing days are over. And I was 18. So that was ridiculous, right? But it was a poem. And then I said, wait a minute. My dude heard it and he was like, yo, you could rap. Ain't No Nigga came out by Jay-Z. And he was like, yo, you could rap. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll try to rap. And I had written a rhyme once before that, but I didn't, it was whack.
Could you give me a Pepsi?
So I think there's this background of that with MCs. And there's other stuff I wanted to write, but go ahead and explain how you, after that pencil and paper book.
Okay, so boom, I come with Rest in Greed, and it's an urban novel about any hood United States America.
Right.
I follow that up, and it was from start to beginning, no cliffhanger or nothing. It was just a good, solid book. And I followed it up with the same characters to turn it into a series. It's not a trilogy, although there's only been 3 of them made because there's going to be more. So it's a series. But so boom, I do the first book, the second book. And then as I'm trying to do the third book, the first book is Rest in Greed. The second book is Resurrected in Riches.
Okay.
Boom, I'm going. So now I'm trying to write the third one after the eulogy. But I can't get my characters to do what they so and I'm having a terrible writer's block. I mean, month after month after month, I can't get these characters to do. I'm getting frustrated. So I decided to try to keep my wrist going. I'm gonna try to write poetry. I had dabbled, wrote things that rhymed before, but I never pursued it because I got homies that rap and they rap gods. I can't rap at all.
Right.
I'm not even gonna try it because they so dope with it. I ain't even bothered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd always try to write things that rhyme, and I realized I'm just trying to wake my wrist up. Maybe this will make me break out of my writer's block and make my characters do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
It didn't, you know what I mean? But it woke my wrist up and was like, oh, I like writing poetry because the type of poetry that I write is more painting pictures with my poetry.
Which you do very well. Yeah.
My rhyming, you know what I'm saying, bro? My rhyming is more of a painting the picture. And I think it had to work that way because I know how to write a book, carry a character development, and say something in chapter 3 because it's relevant in chapter 7. I know how to do that because I wrote several books before I got to the poetry point. So now my poems are long and drawn out, but it's really because I'm painting the picture for you and you got to come ride with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how my writing went. It went from books to poetry. And then from poetry, I'm like, okay, I'm writing things to be read, but it's a slight difference from things that you write to be said on
100%,
stage.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It is. If you're a complete writer, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted to do spoken word. I was in Jackson, Mississippi a couple years ago, living there, and I started going to some spoken word joints and jumping on stage and enjoying it. And now I'm writing for the stage. You know what I mean? Came back to Wisconsin. Antoine McNeil shows, the comedy show beforehand. They would have
that's Madison. Shout out to Antoine. That's a Madison comedian. Yep.
Antoine McNeil had a monthly comedy show before COVID hit. And he kept letting me come bless the show before as one of the poets. And I was like, the only problem was to me that he had, well, not no problem. That was his platform, so he can do exactly what he should do. And he did it right. But I wanted more poetry on stage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Antoine had I believe it was a 2-hour show, the first 30 minutes poetry, and then the rest of the whatever hours it was, the first 30 minutes was poetry. Sometimes we would stretch it to 40 minutes, but you ain't get enough time to flex as a poet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Pizza break.
Oh, you good?
Ram, so, you were part. You've been on that as well. You were
no, not on Antoine's shows. I have not. But what that gets into is the reason he's saying that, I believe, is that he's saying, yo, he wasn't giving me enough time to flex. And so then Rose started something called A Night of Words, right?
Yep.
And he started doing that at Cafe Coda. I think we did Madison's downtown first, right? And then John, what's his name at Cafe Coda?
Mr. Hana.
Hana John, right?
Hana is how it's pronounced.
Right. Hana Jan, right? Or excuse me. So that's he started his own shit, and that's how that gets into that.
Correct. So segue on into it then. My birthday, June 14th, was the first.
Yeah.
Well, that weekend.
Yeah.
2000. Right, for the Corona. So the Club Madison.
Wait. You mean 20, not 2000.
I mean 2020.
Yeah, but you did that in 2019.
Was that 19?
Yeah, because we had already been going almost a year before Corona. Because it was the anniversary for it came up right after Corona.
We was about to make it. Yeah, we made it to 9. We did it through 9 shows.
9 months.
The first 2 was at Club Madison's in Madison.
Yeah.
Volume 3, Night of Words, Volume 1 was at Club Madison. Night of Words, Volume 2 was at Club Madison. Night of Words, Volume 3 was in Beloit, Wisconsin.
Yes, that's right. I came down there for that. That was fun. Yeah.
Night of Words, Volume 4 and 5 was at the bowling alley. Swagglers.
Yep. Over on the west
side. And then
we
caught Cafe Coda, which was
and that's when it went.
Marriage.
That's when it went. Boom. Yeah.
That's when it gelled. It was perfect. The atmosphere. It's a jazz club already.
Yeah.
And jazz and spoken word just meshed so perfect.
Yeah.
We dropped out there all the way up to COVID.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that place still staying afloat with COVID?
It will.
Is it still going to be there? Like after, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did some live stuff recently, so he's still afloat. Yeah.
He's still doing live shows from streaming or whatever. You know what I mean? From there.
So, okay, so you start the show, you get going to different venues. What is it about bringing these artists together and you doing your thing too? What is it that just? I know it fuels you. So what is it about that? And is there something that what is it about that just gets you going, and bringing other artists to the stage? I know you could be on the side smiling, just beaming, you know what I mean? So talk about that.
All right, so my first book I published in 2009. So by now, for 10 years, I've been signing autographs and selling books. You know what I mean? It's dope when you do it with somebody else. I probably could have grabbed the stage and done it by myself, but then I gotta. If it's so simple to me, if me and you and him and him and him are on stage, that's about 12 seats sold if they just bring their girl with them.
Boom.
No, their best friend. If I might not get but 12 people total, so it just makes more sense. I don't care about the limelight. I've been signing autographs for 10 years,
Right.
I swear to God, you know what I mean? I've been selling various books and shit. So I'm like, fuck it. I want to put on for Black literacy, Black literacy, like read, write.
Which is a very important thing to you, and we'll get to that more. We talked earlier a little bit, and we'll talk about that more. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just wanted to do it. It's fun. It wasn't that expensive. You know, it didn't really hurt my pockets. I didn't necessarily make a lot of money, but who cares? You know what I mean? I wanted to do it, and
100%.
It had a lot to do with Antoine. I try not to make sure I say that too, because there wasn't another platform for poetry that I knew about in the area to say poetry, and I don't rap. So
right.
I mean, if I was a rapper, I could get a microphone somewhere in a stage in a venue or something. But I don't rap. I can't be with your rap crew because I don't fucking rap. When you put on that beat I can't even write. I can't even write.
I think you could.
Just,
we'll see one
it
day.
distracts me, man. It bothers me, man.
No, don't let it. Don't let it, because you do what you do well. You know what I mean? And so you should stay in that lane. You feel me?
And you know my pattern. You know my poetry. It don't fit to a certain bounce, man. It just be.
Oh no, you that's the good thing about it to me.
It's all
You know
abstract, up all over the place.
Yeah. But
you can
thoughts,
tell it wasn't written to a beat. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it's no, absolutely not. And but the thoughts connect. The thoughts connect. You know what I mean? And then okay, so we had mentioned that Cafe Coda, where A Night of Words started flourishing. Yeah. It's a jazz club, and you had mentioned that jazz and spoken word kind of had the same rhythm. Although what's interesting about that is they're almost polar opposites, right? You have words over here that have a rhythm, right? And then you have instruments that have a rhythm, but they speak the same language in the middle, man. Talk about that. Are you jazz influenced at all? Do you know what I mean? How's that work?
Not so much, but I will say one time, Mr. Hanai had an evening where he called me. He was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "I ain't doing nothing." He was like, "Come down here." I'm like, "All right." And when I get there, that's what he was doing. He was doing some jazz, and I could see how it could mesh together, and I could get funky with it. You know what I mean? But and he explained to me that it's not necessarily something that you practice, because the music follows my words. So he's like, you just do you, and they gonna follow you.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I didn't know that at all.
He said that he said, I think the way he explained to me, if I'm not incorrect, was like my voice is an instrument, and I would be the lead instrument, and they would follow my voice as the instrument. I'm like, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
See, I've always said that the voice is an instrument. As you know, I do a lot of acapella, and that's how I looked at it. I open shows with acapella because I feel like, look, I want to grab their attention. Because if it was a horn, they're gonna turn around. So if it's my voice, they're gonna turn around. So
your voice is an instrument.
Yo, absolutely. I feel that.
That's why spoken word is so cold, because it ain't. Yeah. There's no assistance with spoken word, G.
Right.
You sink and swim by every single sentence.
Well, that's similar to comedy. That's why it's interesting that he meshed the comedy, and that was where he was able to do it. Because comedy's like that. There ain't no beat. It's you. You're the rhythm. You're the rhythm. Yeah. You know what I mean? So so yeah, I'll let you get that bite in. All right. So do you want to give us a quick one after you do your thing? I mean, just a quick one.
All right, this one is one. When the show begins, I don't go out and be like, okay, the show starts. I just walk up to the microphone and say a poem.
I've seen that before.
That's how you know that this shit starts. You know what I mean? Right. I usually say a warm-up one, like, it's just sometimes the mood is right. I caught a glimpse of her hips, but was all confused by the fumes and the lights. Now, I assumed she was right, but dude was in the way and I couldn't see because she was pint size, nice thighs. He stepped to the side, I thanked my eyes. Seemed like she was by herself. I was drinking drinks with my guys. Now a young bull would rush up, but I waited till she emptied her drinks and then I slinked up, smelling like lotion and good reefer. No ring on her finger. Gave me $1 million smile when I greeted her. I asked her, could I buy her a drink? She said Crown and Coke would be nice. I asked her, how much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. Now that's twice she done smiled. I told her I'm chilling with my homies, but if it's cool, I'll be back in a moment and we could chill for a while. One more smile. Next thing you know, she lost in the crowd. That's how I warm up the crowd every time. That's how I started. Ain't that my warm-up poem?
That's bars.
That's bars.
He said he don't rap. That's bars. That's what I be telling him.
The polar bear break the ice? Like, come on.
That's what I be telling him. I'm like, you say you don't rap, but that's bars, man. You know what I mean? So all y'all rappers out there, watch out. These spoken word dudes is on your ass.
Spoken word different, man.
But the thing is I always felt like spoken word artists could jump into an a cappella cipher at any point in time.
Anytime.
Mm-hmm. I always felt that way.
Not necessarily a freestyle fight cipher, but an a cappella cipher. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I could jump in there with some of those. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't know though, because usually poetry, not me so much, but most poets write to a purpose, to a theme, to a point.
Good point.
You know what I mean? And which ain't really cipher like.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
know
the whole cipher would be quiet if they did, though. Trust me. Because
I write just for the pattern sometimes. I write for no reason, just for the pattern and the cadence. You know what I mean? Just for the bounce.
If you spit that exact poem in a cipher, you would definitely get a reaction out of some of the lines. I can
100%
already guarantee.
Facts.
Yeah, that is a fact. You know what I mean? And so you did Cafe Coda. And that went great. Shout out to all the people that did that. We had fun doing that shit.
It was awesome.
Man.
It's wonderful. Thank you for being here so many times, brother.
Oh, man. You already know,
the whole show. I appreciate it.
Well, I think I missed one or two. I think I missed two, but the only reason that happened is life. So it wasn't because I didn't want to be there. But
you was rocking with me. You was rocking.
I loved
it,
bro.
I appreciate it.
It was fun, man.
And you gave me my favorite poem is yours. I tell you this every time, so you know I'm not lying.
Which one? Truth, Love, Joy.
Yeah, you took your hat off and went crazy.
That's one of them hip hop show things. You know where I got that, bro? Yeah,
that's my joy.
Hey, on some real shit, and people take this with you, it's not mine. KRS-One said he would show up with a jacket. He said, I don't give a fuck if it's 90 degrees. He's like, I show up with a jacket, a hoodie, a t-shirt, wife beat underneath of that, a hat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that, and I get rocking, I move the hoodie. And then I take off the hat. You know what I mean? Then I take off the whole hoodie. and then they see me sweating through my shirt. So then I take off the shirt. So he's like, the crowd see you working and moving them layers. Then they're like, oh, is he getting more busy? Yo, when he said that, I said, I'm taking off my hat and my jacket every show from now on.
Tricks of the trade. I'm gonna remember that.
I took that shit. I was like,
thank you.
Hey, he's the
I'm gonna come with a blazer and a tie. And the person will take off the tie.
I can see that. I can see you.
I'm gonna take off my earring.
I can totally see you doing it, man. That'd be awesome. So you went from that to realizing that you wanted to get all these poets and kind of took I don't want to say a step back, but you said, oh, wait a minute. Let me feed on what I've done before. And that's the books. So then you started Pen Gods. Talk about that. Where you took these spoken word poets and it said, we're going to put them in the book form.
So
you got any books around though that you can show, by the way?
Yep, I'm finna show you.
Yep.
So, all right, so I just wanted to write again, you know what I mean? But now I've been on the stage and I'm into my poetry bag, you know what I mean? Pandemic hits, the stage is over, but I'm writing things that rhyme, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Left and right, you know what I mean? I don't even care about plot twists and character development no more. Now I'm in my poetry bag, ready to get on stage, trying to memorize things better. Pandemic hit. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? Okay, well, I'm still writing and it just hits me.
Mm-hmm.
An anthology. Anthology is it's a collection of short stories and or poems by different writers.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that's what anthology exactly meant, but yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's pretty much what it is.
Okay.
Short stories and or poems by different writers.
Okay.
And I've been part of an anthology before. Years ago, a buddy of mine out in Cleveland, I put a short story in his book. It was
shout him out.
I can't remember his name. That's why
I shouldn't have said that. It's okay. We have moments like this every episode. It's all good.
I'll get back to him. We'll get back in a minute.
Whoever that is, peace to you, mate.
But he reached out to me though, and that's how I knew the anthology was a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. So when I was on stage, when I was on Night of Words, you gotta artists need to get compensated. You understand what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
So that's part of the secret that made Night of Words so dope was because I gave all the writers four tickets. And with these 4 tickets, go sell them and put that money in your own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And whether they sold the tickets or not, you could tell that they all appreciated it was genuine. So when they came to my stage, they owned that motherfucker when it was their turn on the stage instead of not coming or coming like a days ago because they didn't give a shit. But it kind of, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, So the anthology, I can work it out where if you give me 3 or 4 short stories or poems, then you'll have the ability to sell it your damn self. And you can make the set price of $15 off the book yourself. So it's kind of like, and it works because it makes more people involved in your shits. And it goes further than it would by little old me. I don't know that many people. You know what I'm saying?
He's lying. He's lying, people. He knows
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people. But I don't know a lot of people as me and you know together. So it's always best.
That's okay. I see that. I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, it's like every month I drop another book. It was Pen Guides, then Pen Guides 2, Black Men Write, then Pen Guides 3. The day after tomorrow is Pen Guides 4.
Oh, Pen Guides 4. I'm sorry, Pen Guides 4. Yeah. Sorry.
Pen Guides 4 the day after tomorrow, because 3 is this last one. This is February right here.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just exactly what it should be. It's a collection of dope poetry by several different poets. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That person, that person, that person, that person, that person.
Wait, you went by somebody right there. I noticed. I'll just play it.
Let me see. To stand, take 2, you get what you expected from the big homie. Can you see that?
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I see you in there, Ram. I see you.
I'm trying. Yeah. I appreciate you, man. That's I love it. I mean,
do you have a copy? Do you have your own copy?
I don't, because we haven't been able to hook up. And you know, we'll get it. Well, it's not. We're not gonna talk about that. But
and I don't want and okay. So book 4 is coming in 2 days.
Yeah.
What is today? The 22nd.
Yeah.
Whatever the 25th.
Yeah, 22nd. Yeah.
3 days. On the 25th is a new one, and the cover is being taken care of right now. And I'm doubling back, and I'm changing the covers on those too. So
okay.
It'll be new covers being released on those on the 25th when Pen Guides 4 drops.
Boom. Okay.
But it's a lot of dope people though, and
yes,
what I like about it is I'm starting to get people that live further and further away from home.
Your demographics widening. Yes.
Yes. Which is the goal. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Are you able to place these books in small bookstores, stuff like that, or do you just slang them out independently?
Because I like to do it, I just slang them out individually because that's just like my thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, out the truck style. Yeah.
I like my phone to ring and be like, here I come, I'm coming around the corner.
Yeah.
I just like to say that. But I do have a few people actually. My homegirl does lashes. My homeboy got a barbershop. My other homeboy got a barbershop. And I'm really planning on dropping off, but I'm actually waiting until a couple of days to go from now when I get the revised editions. Okay. I don't even want to, you know what I mean? Since they're going to be revised, I'll wait. And when they get revised, I'm going to be dropping these off in some of my friends' barbershops. And I got a niece in Jackson, Mississippi that wants to have it in her eyelashes, eyebrows, whatever.
Like kind of a beauty salon style thing?
Beauty salon joint. You know what I mean? That's really the goal.
Yeah.
So the bigger picture is 12 books in 12 months.
Yep.
That's the bigger picture of the whole push. It's the Black literacy push. You know what I mean?
Yes. With that, since you mentioned that again, you want to announce what you had posted earlier, and I was saying, yo, we're gonna talk about that. Because honestly, what you had talked about, I had never heard of that. I'm a little embarrassed to say that, but I hadn't. You know, I'm not embarrassed.
I hadn't either, and
okay,
it's newly formed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's newly formed. It's a brand new thing, but it's dope poets from all over the United States.
Okay.
And
explain. Tell them what it is.
It's the National Negro Poets Society, and it's just dope, fresh, new poets. You know what I mean? From all over the United States. And it's really, really, really dope to be involved in something in the inception of it. You know what I mean? So and it was just from networking and people seeing and hearing my poetry. Yeah. It was like, that's dope.
Congrats on that, because that's a big step.
For
getting stuff around, and getting it out to people. That's a dope step. And I know that's probably a proud moment for you. So that's dope. Congrats on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like any accolade that has to do with my wrist, I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
dope.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
So you ready to give us one more? Or you guys,
I lost my phone. Let's see. Offhand.
you don't have to be off here. You can run your phone. You know what I mean?
Let's see here.
Ain't nobody criticizing you for that. And if they do, then fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
But yeah,
Method Man read off his phone on
100%.
on Funk Flex.
And when Black Thought was murdering shit.
I get it.
Oh, but
Okay,
he spit
so
some
check this
fire
out.
too. So
I gotta this one more read. I'm gonna give you a little backstory on this.
Okay, please.
The George Floyd riots, protests, and all that, city of Madison. Shout out Rob Franklin. Rob Franklin reached out to me.
Rob D's too, but if you don't know
Rob D's,
Franklin,
yeah,
it's Rob D's
Shout out
also.
to Rob D's. I've been knowing Rob D's.
Madison pioneer. Yeah.
I've been knowing Rob D's way before he even moved to Madison. But like when we was younger, probably since 16, I've been knowing Rob D's.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's what's up. What up,
Yeah.
Rob?
Rob D's been a good friend for about 30 years. But he reached out to me though, and he was like, down here on State Street at Overture Center, we got a spot for you if you want to do a mural or something. We can of your paintings and try to express your point of view with what's going on. As you know, a lot of people did their murals, so I did my mural down there.
Yeah. And who painted that?
Lachey.
And
Felicia Walker.
Yes. And what up, Lachey? She's one of the Night of Words poets as well.
Absolutely.
So we just want to shout her out.
And she's right there.
Hey, what up? So is that still up down there?
Yes, it is. That's
so people go down to State Street. If you're in Madison, go down to State Street. If you come through Wisconsin, go down there. It's dope. The art is dope. I love the fact that it's still up there. You know what I mean? I'm proud of that myself. So I'm good.
So when he gave me the opportunity to put some of my words on there, I'm like, what am I gonna put down there? You know what I mean? And the irony of this poem is it's called Black Man's Plight. The irony of this is, and I checked, the first time I'm not sure if I wrote it the night before or 2 or 3 nights before, but the first time I posted it, once I finished it, was the day after Trump took the office his first day taking the office. Oh shit. Is when I wrote this poem. And then fast forward to the George Floyd shit and what should I pick to put on this mural? That was the best totally representation to put. You know what I mean? It was the mind state that I was in then, still was the mind state that I was in 4 years later. Which you know what I'm saying? 3.5 years later. Ain't that crazy?
It is crazy. Yeah, it is. It is. So hit us with
it. This is just kind of like, so we took bits and pieces of this and put on the mural. Obviously, everything's not there, but it's Black Man's Plight. And this is how it goes.
Let's go.
Black man's problems take a black woman to solve them. I'm all in. Can't wear a hoodie and bump my music because the cops get called in. Feels like I'm falling. Stop selling dope though I was balling. Bottom line, we get profiled all the time. All the brother stories I know is just like mine. We got felonies so we can't get hired. And if we do, we the first ones fired. I don't know how we survive it. Followed in the store when I got money for what I'm buying. And if I dare risk getting loud with the cops, I'm flirting with dying. Black on black, now my younger brothers is dying. And let's face it, between felonies and child support, it's hard for a brother to make it. So when I get back to breaking the law again, don't say shit. My homie got a $300 check, and after child support, he left with 8 cents. How that makes sense? And his daughter's birthday next week, and he can't take shit. He feel helpless. Baby mama and her bum-ass friends clown him and call him selfish. He feel helpless. So he go get a bottle and get wasted. Pumped up on adrenaline, he moving too fast. Drove fast past the cops, and you know they cuffed him. Put him in a cell next to his long-lost cousin. Judge talked down to him like he ain't nothing. A black man in court ain't no sympathy coming. Yeah, I'm just rhyming, but Lord knows I ain't lying. A 9-year-old black kid gets killed by the cops and ain't nobody crying. Let that be a white kid, the news will have a fit. It happens to a black kid, well, that's what he gets. An old black man is fortunate, an accomplishment, just to survive in this white man's world where they forgot the black man was the pearl. They call our hair nappy when it's clearly curls. This is my story, you can give me yours. That's locked doors. That's the reason. Why would I stop for? Our history is not ours. It's carefully crafted in a school book. They ain't never gonna teach us about the Black Panthers like they supposed to. You know what's up. That's to hold you down. If you don't know you're a king, you won't expect a crown. Look around. It ain't too many Black people in power. We could have had real political power. Malcolm would be pissed. Huey predicted this. I just felt like I'd use my gift to address this shit.
Hey, I love that one. That's a great one, man.
That's one of my favorites right there, though. That's
man,
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So you wrote that in 2016?
Yeah, I don't. I feel like
because Trump. Okay, so it's crazy because Trump got elected in 2016, and you wrote that in 2016, and it definitely touches on the all the riots, protests after George Floyd. The thing that's crazy about that is 2016. I feel like all of like the worldwide protests probably could have happened then, because that's when the Baltimore protest happened over Freddie Gray.
Freddie Gray,
yes. Yeah. And I feel like hearing that you could spit that at any time here previous to now.
Truth.
Or in the future.
15 years ago.
Hopefully not, but
15
in the future,
years ago would have been
100%
absolutely accurate.
Absolutely. And that's amazing, man. It's amazing in the artistic way. It's not amazing in the actual fact of how we out here living. You know what I'm saying?
That's the other thing about spoken word. It doesn't age.
100%.
You're trapped in that moment of what you said. Whatever you said right then, it's, you know what I mean? It doesn't age and get old. There's not a chorus that gets old or a beat that's not in style no more. You know what I mean? That's That's the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, there's so much with that. When they call our hair nappy, when it's obviously curly. That metaphor to me, I don't know if you want to talk about that metaphor, but to me, it's like that's exactly the narrative that a racist society of America takes on everything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. The double standard. It speaks on that. Exactly.
It's ingrained in us.
Talk about it.
You heard Black people tell other Black people, you don't look right with that hair, or that natural style ain't for everybody. That's the hair that grew out of your fucking head. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's your motherfucking DNA.
So that's it. What do you mean it needs some chemicals or it needs some adjustment? No, well, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Let it dreadlock or cut it, but don't.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Don't demean it by saying it's nappy. It's hair. It's not nappy. What do you mean? It's curls.
Well, it also
but you
speaks.
know what I mean? It's the connotation of it.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. That connotation also speaks to jail sentences being unfair. It speaks to every double standard, in society. And it was such a metaphor that just right then, I don't even know if I heard the rest of the poem. I'll be real fucking honest, because when you said it, I'm like, oh man, I did. But you know what I'm saying? It consumed my mind. I'm thinking, man, that's a great metaphor for everything, man. Right. You know, if I walk down the street and I got a suit on, I'm still not looked at as the same as a white dude my size, my look with the suit on too. You know what I mean? I look like I'm going to a job interview to them, but they think he owns a business. You feel what I'm saying? But it could be, you know what I'm saying?
It's always marginalized like that. I was on Facebook talking to somebody, arguing with somebody, I guess, about something.
Totally stop doing that. No, I was playing.
6 years ago. Right.
I'll play it, bro.
Right. It was a couple years ago.
I learned my lesson recently, bro.
It was a couple years ago, and somebody tried to vouch for me, like, nah, Ross ain't know what he's talking about. He's smart. He be writing books and stuff. And dude's response was, yeah, urban novels. See, it makes sense, but it's always a little, bro. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm like 9 times published.
Come on, man. Tell them.
By the end of the year, I'll be like 15 times published.
Tell them. You know what I'm saying?
But they're urban novels, so it ain't really celebrated and newspaper worthy and all that. You know what I mean? Or how about this? I saw Kirk Franklin say that there's a Grammy for gospel music and there's a Grammy for Christian music. And he's not nominated for Christian music, only the gospel music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's absolute
So
racial
that's
separation.
So is it a novel or is it an
Right.
urban novel? So I can
Right.
tell how to judge it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, okay, let's do these anthologies in. You can't tell me these poems ain't dope. You can't tell me these short stories ain't dope. You can't even, you know what I mean? You can't really find so much reason to hate no more. Don't like mine, like his. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if somebody wrote a poem or a book about war, cool. But if you write it about the war in the neighborhoods we live in that we all fighting, it's a different thing, right?
It's a different thing. You know what I'm saying?
You put both people in those circumstances, America. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So I love it, man. That was great.
I love it though.
That was great.
I love writing. I ain't gonna stop writing. That's my shit.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. We did a thing together that you will probably see inserted here in video. We did Traffic Stop.
I seen the police first. I was on the passenger side while bro was trying to swerve in the passing lane. As soon as I mentioned it to bro, the bastards came. I got scared. Then I got mad because I had the nerve to be scared. Bro asked me, was I dirty? And I'm like, yeah. But it's nothing too heavy, just a 50-second smoke in my sweatpants. If they want to be arresting us for something, shit, this will be their best chance. I'm the type to joke in the face of danger. Red and blue lights in the mirror, be cool, always remember. Should be all right, as long as they don't make us get out the car.
I ain't too worried about that eighth my homie got. That's the ticket at best. I'm just hoping I don't twitch wrong and get two to the chest. It took a sec to pull over, and I assume he saw two niggas in his eyes. Probably why he pulled us over. And probably why he's approaching with his hand on the holster. I ain't know my homie had the same emotion till now, that anger from being scared of the overseer approaching. Too many times, 2 black lives divided by a cop's fear of a black person makes death the quotient. That's why I'm sweating and my hands on the steering wheel focused, thinking we golden as long as he don't make us get out this car.
Yo, bro, why he pulling us over for nothing? Even more, why he pull us over for nothing and got his hand on his holster? This ain't how it's supposed to go. We seen this shit before. I looked down and I was glad I didn't have on a hoodie like the one Trayvon wore. I mean, he grabbed his hip as soon as he got out the door. I'm sick of this shit. I told bro, these bitches making me sick. We ain't did nothing wrong. His license and registration legit. Patience is slipping. Thinking of the ancestors and how they made us think that we was inferior. Whole time, I'm knowing what I'm thinking is right. I'm low-key thinking of flight. But it should be all right as long as they don't make us get out this car.
He said, how you doing today? Like he gave a fuck. My hands ain't moved a centimeter, steering wheel clutch. I even moved my head slow, not to trigger him to pull the trigger. CNN may be more than me, but to Fox and to all them blonde girls they weirdly have on their roster, I'm just a dead nigga. And in this country, they think I'm an imposter. But anyway, as he asked the usual, I reach for the glove box, keeping my posture, one hand on the wheel still. He tells me I can use 2 hands, but fam, I don't trust him. And all the while, I feel like I'm giving off an energy like fuck him. He checked my ID before going back to the car. The cop talked some shit to my homie. I personally think he went too far. But we should be good, though, as long as he'll make me get out this car.
So yeah, this cop asked me, what am I looking at, Hollywood? So what, now I gotta be demeaned in silence for this to go good? What's understood ain't gotta be explained. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And I ain't never been able to hold my tongue, so I told him Hollywood ain't my name. Then he replied, what you saying, boy, in a whole different tone. He looked around, so I followed his eyes and realized we was all alone. And shouldn't he be running our names or something? And how come this time ain't no backup coming? Heart thumping. A nigga could die and I ain't even did nothing. And yeah, he coming, huffing and puffing, just ready to say he feared for his life or something. But it should be all right as long as he don't make us get out this car.
Funny thing is, we never got out the car. I started to interject as my man dealt with disrespect. In my rear view, I had a clear view of the second squad coming, the second pig jumping out his car as if he knew we were Dillinger and Billy the Kid. But we more like Huey P. and Bobby Seale. And just when I thought that, shit got real. The first cop on my side drew his gun because my hand slipped off the wheel as I turned around to see cop number 2 running up. My dude moved his hands towards his waist just barely because he naturally was scared. And in some fashion, cop number 2 approached with his hand on his gun. Me and my homie both turned to each cop, my left, his right. And their body cams probably recorded both of our fright. 2 cops took 2 mama's babies that night. And we both sit here as apparitions, ghosts. Cause you know what's fucked up, man? We never got out the car.
To me, that's one of the best things I've ever been involved in, writing wise. Normally, the things I write is songs. But you came to me with that idea. Talk about that. I mean, obviously, we know, the basics of it, but talk about that, man. And how fast we wrote that motherfucker, because you hit me up and we was like, boom, message back and forth. I can toot my own hair on too much, so I want you to say, I'm just saying, that's how it happened. You know what I mean?
We on stage.
That was your idea, and I'm just curious,
We on stage. It's the Night of Words series. We on stage every month, and I'm trying to spice it up, bring something new to it. I'm like, okay, let's do a poem, a partner poem. Me and you, we do a poem together. You know what I mean? So I wanted, before I said it to you, I thought of it. I'm like, let's do it. I want to do a poem with somebody that'll look dope on stage. So I hit Rambunctious. I'm like, hey, let's write a poem together, bro. He's like, I ain't bad. It ain't nothing. Let's write a poem together. Yeah. And we both arrogant. We both a little
arrogant.
Like,
okay, well, slow down. Slow a little bit.
I can.
No, but the funny thing is, you hit me right on time. You hit me right on time because you was like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. I'm drinking a beer, chilling, smoking a cigarette. You know what I mean? Like I was, let's do it right now. So yeah, go ahead.
Hey, we didn't know what to do, how to plan, and I just like, I think, did I start off because you finished it? So yeah, I started off. I just painted a little scene. I seen the police. I seen the police car. I just know a little bit of it. This is how it starts. This is what I sent to Rambunctious to work off of. This is we were just like, we're gonna write a poem together. Yeah. And he was like, and he told me, okay, well, you started off. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I seen the police first. I was on the passenger side while bro was trying to swerve in the passing lane. As soon as I mentioned it to bro, them bastards came. I got scared. Then I got mad because I had the nerve to be scared. Okay, now I got it. That's how I'm gonna start it. We're getting pulled over by the police. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if we're getting pulled over by the police, then this is about the traffic stop, right?
Right.
Boom. The name of this poem is The Traffic Stop. Let's talk about what happens when 2 people get pulled over by the police and see if we can paint that picture. And that's what we did too.
And I would say the line where you said, I got mad because I had the nerve to be scared.
Yeah.
When I got that, I was like, oh, we going there, because I still to this day think about that line I get mad because I'm like, why am I scared of these motherfuckers? And so recently I decided I'm not gonna be scared no more. I sit in my parking lot, I drink my beer, listen to my music, write my rhymes and shit. And keys in the ignition, car is on, or engaged. But I ain't going nowhere. I ain't doing nothing. I do it almost every day. My neighbors know me. Hey, Ram, I'm waving, right? It's all good. But they've come up to me a few times. And it took those times for me to be like, nah, I'm mad that I'm scared right now. So I stopped. I stopped being scared. I made a conscious choice to be like, nah. So one time they put, and it's kind of has nothing to do with it, but it kind of does, right? I said, I ain't doing nothing. What are y'all doing? You know what I mean? It was that kind of attitude. It was an attitude I had never took before. And I was talking to somebody the other day. They were like, man, you tripping, and it's a brother. It's one of my homies. I'm not going to get into it, but he was like, man, you tripping. I said, you know what? They got to shoot me, man, because I ain't done nothing. So I'm done being intimidated and scared. And so I watched Traffic Stop the other day when I knew you were coming on, and I hadn't watched it in a while. And I saw that. I'm like, see, that's how I feel now. Like, yo, man, if I ain't done nothing, you're not getting that submissive.
Hey, I'm a Gemini. It depends on what day you catch me. And
I'm an Aries, so I'm fiery all the time. So it takes a whole lot for me to be like, nah, let me chill. Because you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I just wanted to bring that up. We're going to insert the video probably around this point.
Yeah, it's
So-
a
That was a dope video, though.
real powerful piece, man.
Thank you. Yo, so talk about what you have coming up. I mean, I know you still got Pen Gods through the year.
I got a couple
Is
things.
there any talks about A Night of the Words coming back with selective audience? Or have you,
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I ain't gonna rush it because I don't want to be the irresponsible person that has a stage
Yeah,
and
I understand that.
shouldn't have it. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
There's been talks with other venues and people talking to me, but
Okay.
I don't want to go outside myself.
Have you thought about a virtual show? Like we might be able to do a pick apart the passion in like June or July where we have a bunch of poets come on. Maybe we all, and boom, 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 everybody do their thing. That's possible. I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I mean?
I've thought about it 3 or 4 times. I've approached it, but not really approached it. You know what I mean? Right now, man, I'm so busy with these 12 books in 12 months. I'm so busy meeting deadlines, making sure they meet their deadlines and going to the post office and I do have so there's more things I'm working on. I'm dropping 12 books a month for 12 months. It's going to take us all the way up to October. Because a very smart friend of mine, Aubrey Banks from Beloit, Wisconsin, told me people love consistency. And that's a fact. The people love consistency, so I'm going to stay consistent with these books all the way out to October. I got a couple of things. So A1 from Day One, my homeboy Rashid Atlas. He lives in Madison, Wisconsin. He's a phenomenal artist. He can draw and paint everything. We're doing some things with my poetry. I got a poem called Soul Sister. Okay. So he's drawn 4 different renditions of Soul Sister being, you know what I mean? The drawing representation of that poem. Nice. And we kind of combined the poem with the pictures for Soul Sister. Like for instance.
Yeah, show us that. Yeah, I saw that one. This one and then the one over to the left too, or that's sick, man. He's dope. That's him right there. That's him.
Yep.
Both of them.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's nice.
Those are
man.
cold.
Yeah, those shading and everything is crazy.
You might want to Ram. You might want to try to hit him for some album art, dog.
That's a possibility. Me and
both
got to read my album, so yeah.
You can get like the version of just the picture, or you can get parts of the poem in the picture as well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we're working on that because we've been friends forever. So why not rock that?
Yeah, of course. Of course. So are you gonna start doing the Pen Gods books with his art, maybe, or is that something?
He actually this one, the last one I did this month, Pen Gods 3. Yeah, it's if you probably can't see, but it says covered by Rashid Atlas.
Okay, yeah, I actually saw that before. Yeah.
So he's actually since Pen Gods 4 is coming out in a couple of days, these next few days he's formatting Pen Gods 4 cover and changing the cover to this one, and those other ones we're gonna revise edition these and come right back at you with them like it never happened, which is my thing because I don't mind you guys watching me grow. Yeah. Instead of waiting until I'm ready. You know what I mean? Yes. I jump on out there and y'all can watch me get better and I'll go back and double back and change up. And you know what I'm saying? Instead of just waiting and never getting started. I'm just jumping in. It's COVID. It's a whole new world out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brand new rules. None of them rules we had before matter anymore. It's a brand new game.
Yep. So you want to shout out some of the people that are in Pen Gods 3, since that's or the ones that are coming up, just kind of
everybody I can. I'm just gonna give them a shout out. Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? Let people know what's going on.
Hold on, this takes. I appreciate the people that helped me with Black Men Write. Black Men Write was different. It was just me and 3 other Black men. We just gave them a plethora of poems. It was these are their writing names: Extasius, Universal Love, and Righteous Mind. Pen Gods 2. Let me say something about Pen Gods 2.
Go ahead. Talk your shit.
You know it's coming.
Yeah. That's what we love about it. This is free flowing, candid as you can be. Do what you do, man. You know
the writing that I did on Pen Gods 2. Yeah. All right, so let me back it up because I never
give us one then. Give us something to show the people after you say what you're saying right now.
I can't give it to you on Pen Gods 2. Okay, let me tell you. So in writing, and I'm talking about things that aren't on a beat, just writing. Yeah. There's pretty much 2 words. There's there's things that rhyme
Mm-hmm.
and things that don't, like plot twists and character, you know, books, right?
Sure.
So I'm pretty good at both of them shits.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
You damn
And I'm
good.
also
Yeah.
able to, on Pen Guys 2 is when I really flex my muscle and I kind of combine the two. I wrote short stories that rhyme. Everybody can't do that. You ain't seen that since Dr. Seuss. That don't happen all the
Come
time.
on.
I want y'all to know that. Let me talk my shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Sort of like the traffic stop. Everybody
Yes.
can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And
So-
so yeah, so you're not gonna give us that one out of that?
I am. I'm gonna give you something.
I'm trying.
Let me see. 7, 8, 9, 10.
Straight from the book.
Straight from the book. Let's see.
Yeah, take your time, you know. It ain't take your time, it ain't no rush. You know what
Can I read some of your shit? Can I read?
What you I mean
Look how the
I would-
temperature changed. You see how
I would rather
I don't know if I want that.
if you want me to read something from
Nah,
mine.
I just wanted to see your face, bro.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was gonna say, shit. I could do truth, love, joy. The only reason I responded like that is because I'm particular that if it's mine, I would rather read it. But if you want me to, I can do truth, love, joy for you. I mean,
and I do want you to.
okay.
What I'm gonna do is what I want to give you is Soul Sister, because we just discussed the Soul Sister poems.
Yeah.
And I want to give you that because my man's really liking it, and it
Good.
It
I
encouraged
get off
him
the hot
to
burner
paint.
right now. Yeah. Okay. It encouraged him to paint this.
It encouraged him to paint these shits. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was like,
okay.
I
Yeah,
really
definitely
like
do
that
that.
poem.
Yeah,
bro.
my truth, love, joy ain't like that. Go ahead. Yeah. Ain't
Oh,
inspired
it's
nobody
like
to paint.
that. It's like that. Cut it out, man. I'm gonna say it with you. I probably know your shit just as good as you do. Shit.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's go.
But I got you. Soul Sister is the name of it. The name of it, Soul Sister. This is so dope. Let me make sure y'all know I'm reading from my shit.
Oh, they gonna believe you. We don't do no fakery on this show. No fakery on this show, bro.
Soul Sister, because she can see the whole picture. Told me she wanted me to conquer the globe with her. 1970s figure, hourglass. I hold her by her ass. Just chilling each other's company, quiet as the hours pass. Orion jealous of her laugh. Pigtails flow down her back, matching tats. Imagine if the world was really flat. She say, see them stars? Give me that, I'll give it back. The way she smiled had me believing that. So I go hard, reminiscing when our ancestors followed the North Star, wondering what we believe in if religion wasn't forced on us. She's smart and fine, and I'm fortunate to find her on this planet that we're forced to live. Almost as perfect as a portrait is, certainly a specimen, pointing to the skies where she come from. She heaven sent, a gift in the present sense. Angel face, but dimples that's devilish. Warn me not to believe what they telling us. She smoked joints, but she barely cussed. Told me to stop saying nigga, because that's how they refer to us. Angela plus Asada combined, with an ass like Ashanti, 3 A's at a time. My soul sister. Yeah.
That's me.
My soul sister.
That's me. I like that one. I like that one a lot. I can
Yeah,
see
that
why
one
he
was
was inspired. Because the detail in your words always hits me like you're literally painting the picture. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
like,
I try to do so much.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And you do it. You do. I mean, it's undeniable, and that's why I'm. Well, that's why you here. You know what I'm saying? I think you're that type of writer where the picture you paint. I mean, I just sit here and I'm picturing whatever I picture. Danku's picturing what he pictures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not gonna be the same in anybody's head, but your words are still consistent. I love that shit. I'm just giving you flowers. You know.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I like to think that you can go back to what I said earlier. I wrote books long before I thought about writing poetry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think it kind of shows in a lot of my pen. And the longer my poem goes, the more that you'll be able to tell that in each poem. You can tell I wrote books first. It just kind of I'm kind of not it, and I'm not necessarily intricate, but I try to paint a picture. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it just comes out like that. Yeah.
But I think you are intricate. I think you should give yourself a little more.
Yeah, but lately I've been trying to be more. I've been writing with the goal of being intricate about whatever subject I'm speaking on instead of descriptive. You know what I
I see
mean? I'm
what
more
you're saying. Yeah, right.
descriptive.
Right.
You know
That
what I'm
makes sense.
saying?
It makes sense. Yes. I have a question, kind of random, but because you paint that kind of picture, have you ever thought about writing short film scripts or long form film scripts or anything of that nature where it would be visualized? I mean, is that something you've ever worked on, ever done, ever thought of?
No, just because it's technical. You know what I mean? I just write, and
Mhm.
I think that. I mean, I feel like I wrote so much, and I wrote things that could be actually filmed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You could see it and film that. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
writing for the purpose of it to be that. Now, I've never really done it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
I
Have you ever
just
thought?
write what
I'm sorry.
I like to write. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Have you ever thought about taking one of your poems and not writing specifically for the video, but making videos with your spoken word?
A million times. That's what I want to do. I definitely want to do that.
I personally think you need to move into that next stage.
Yeah, that'll be dope, right?
And this is just friend to friend. It just happens to be recorded right now. But
Facts.
So for real, because if you had a videographer put some visuals behind some of that, you wouldn't necessarily have to say what you're saying. But
Yeah,
it's
but he could
guided
represent it
along.
with the visual. Yeah, that'll be
Exactly.
dope too.
Yeah.
No beat. This is poetry. You know what I mean?
Right,
Just never
right.
try to.
Right.
And plus, I don't say my shit. That's another reason I couldn't be a poet. I mean, a rapper, because I don't say my shit at the same time. And every time I say it, it's a different.
No, you sure don't. I love it.
You know what I mean? I just got it memorized.
Even if I have some memorized and I'm performing a song, I might change a word or two, and you just might not realize it. That happens almost every time too. Danku barely even spits some of his written and just freestyles over shit. Not barely, but you know what I'm saying. But there's plenty of times he'll be like, yeah, I'm not even spitting the verses. I'm just freestyling, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna do the hook. I mean, you tell him, man. You tell him.
Something I've never been able to do is freestyle,
Yeah,
man. I'm always jealous of the freestylers.
Yeah, I actually started out freestyling before I ever wrote anything down. So it's always been a kind of a natural, just a natural talent that I've always had. I've been able to do that.
I never could do it.
And then
that's another reason I was never a rapper. I can't freestyle.
But for the longest time,
but that's a practice.
For the longest time, I sucked at memorization. It's weird now at an older age, I can memorize shit better. It's so weird to me. Like, I feel like the reason I freestyled so much early on was because I was terrible at memorizing shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would do half-hour sets, show sets, and there was one time I remember the exact moment. I did a show, Stonefly, Milwaukee, and homie Ghetto MC from out east. He comes up to me. He's like, "Man, that set was dope, but how you gonna sell that? Because none of that shit's on your records. Like, nobody can buy that because you just freestyled it all." And I was like, "Yeah, I feel you. So then
they can't sing along.
It was like from that moment, I feel like I worked harder on perfecting an actual show and got away from. I mean, I always incorporate freestyle in my shit because I'm good at it, but I got away from doing that and focused more on songs off the album that I thought would be good for people to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what's up. That's a good point. Like I was saying, freestyle is a practice. It's not something you just automatically, you have to practice just like you practice writing. Another thing, have you ever timed your writing? Like when you're you know what I mean? Like, hey, I have an hour and I'm gonna time myself and see how fast I can write. Or anything like that, or within months, whatever the time may be. I'm not saying an hour. Or
what I did do was, once we started rocking these stages, I started writing poems that were 1 minute long, because I realized, as hard as it is to memorize something, if I just do 1 minute's worth of some shit, then maybe I can memorize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so stressed about memorizing shit.
Oh man. All three of us on this screen get that way, man. I was just sitting in the car early. I got 2 hours about to drop this. Like within a couple months, I got 2 hours about to drop, and I'm realizing, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to memorize all of this shit. Earlier today, I was thinking, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be rough. I'm gonna be bumping myself for way longer than I normally would.
Speaking of time writing, Ram, have you ever done timed writing. Like it was actually an exercise one time. I took a creative writing course in college.
Yeah. So
And every time the class started, we would the teacher would be like, all right, 10 minutes before we even get into any of the class, and I want you to just free write for 10 minutes, and whatever you get, we're going to share it in the first 10 minutes of class, but I want you to get that to get the mind flowing of where you want to go next. So we would always do that.
That's dope.
well, yeah. See, I had
I should try that.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was this. I went to South Mountain Community College in Phoenix. And I didn't even graduate high school, so I was going there to play ball and had to work on getting my GED and shit. So I was like, I wasn't even pumped about going to school again. I was like, fuck this shit, right? But I took this critical thing, African American history, and I remember the teachers. I wish I remembered their name because they both were brilliant. African American history and critical thinking. In the critical thinking class, he would give us a subject like euthanasia, or that was actually the first class ever. It was euthanasia, and I was like, not euthanasia, but euthanasia, right? I want to make sure that was clarified. And he would say, you got a half hour of the hour, and you have to pick a side over here or a side over here and write what you think on them, right? So then we would write, and then you had to share it. So that's the only time really that I can think that I had time writing, except when I did Just Wolf, Minnesota. I did that. Matter of fact, you're the only person that beat me on how fast they wrote it, and you beat me by like 30 seconds, right? And I was so mad. When he told me that, I was so fucking mad. I was like, God damn it, the only motherfucker that beat me is Danku? Oh, you know what I mean? But one thing I would do though, I wouldn't time myself, but I would see what time I started writing, and no matter how long it took, and then see how long that took, right? So there's times where it'd be like, oh, I wrote that in 10 minutes, I wrote that in an hour, I wrote that in 2 days, I wrote that in months, whatever. So I did that, but it wasn't that I timed it. I just would see what time it took. No pressure, but yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's an exercise for your wrist. I might try that.
Yeah.
I can't make myself write. I can.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I can make myself write stuff. I can, but I shouldn't. I put it like that.
You want it to be inspired, then.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's when my best shit come. My best shit come when it's crucial, when I'm mad or broke.
Yeah. Hey, broke is a hell of a motivator. Yeah. Oh, so I got a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think people think I'm always angry by the shit I write. I'm actually not though. I'm not.
No, you really not.
Person, but I write some angry ass shit.
So, Rose, man.
Ross,
man, I'm sorry, Ross. I don't. It's bad habit.
I keep doing
I think I'm French on my granddaddy's side. I don't know.
Right.
I'm joking. I'm totally joking. One thing I wanted to ask you is, and I'm trying to think of how I wanted to ask the question because I kind of forgot half of it. But okay, no, I didn't. Do you have a favorite poem, or spoken word, or do you feel like you haven't written that yet? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I got a favorite. Yeah.
Have you already said that to us?
No.
You gave it to us?
It's You Know How Karma Go, yeah. But it's a 3-part poem and it's long.
I remember that. I do know that one. Yeah. Well, we got time.
Favorite one.
We got time.
That's my favorite one without a doubt.
We got time.
Sorry, he like do that shit.
I'm fishing. I'm throwing my pole out there. I'm fishing, man. I'm fishing. Right. Or give us the first part, and then they gotta pay attention to get the rest. How about that?
All right, it's called You Know How Karma Go.
All right. We're trying to pick apart your passion, man.
I get it. It's I say this before I say it. Let me say, I was at Antoine McNeil's show. Mm-hmm. The very first one that I did, and I did this poem, and he invited me back. So when I got out there again, so next time, you only have much time. You got to figure out what you're gonna do. So I didn't have much time. So I'm like, I did another poem, and then I did this poem again. You Know How Karma Go. And when I was walking off stage, now I killed it. The crowd loved it. Mm-hmm. The first time and the second time, but I felt like I was, which is part of the reason I wanted the stage. I felt like I was cheating them, giving them the same poem that I came last time and gave them. As I was walking off the stage, Poetic Ye.
Yeah.
My homeboy Poetic Ye.
Yeah.
He was, as I walked down the stairs, he was there and he had been there last week, and he was like, and he gave me daps. He was like, that was cold, bro. I liked it last week too. I was like, I started not to say it because I said it last week. I don't want to keep doing the same poem every time. He was like, no, they love it. That's your signature poem.
Well, that's the thing.
Say this
Sometimes
poem
people want to
every
know.
time.
They might have brought their girlfriend they didn't bring last time. Like, oh, he did my favorite poem I told you about, right?
You understand what I'm
It's
saying?
like a song.
And
It's like your single. You know what I mean?
and so I was feeling
Yep.
bad, like I shouldn't do it every time. I just wait. He was like, no, do it every single time you get on stage
Well, then
because
go
that's
on,
your
do it.
signature poem.
Then go on and do it.
So I said, all right.
I'm just gonna sit back. Go on and do it. You gotta do it every time, right?
All right. You know how karma go.
All right.
Now imagine me being on stage. It's a little more slower and calmer than this, but
Oh, do you need a
I
slip?
got you. I got
Hold
you.
Got you, man. Got you. We'll get a
Old school.
mood thing going here.
Old school. Stash spot in the dashboard. Old tool. Old girl drive. I'm in the passenger. So smooth. It's a 2-seater. Got a Ruger and a deuce between us because she ain't with the bullshit either. I roll the reefer with one eye. Other eye, I scroll for police. Low as hell. No rims, no beats. Factory CD players. She sing along to Anthony Hamilton. I mostly smoke alone. She take a couple hits random. We ran through the city as the sun set. I roll up again. She like, Daddy, you ain't done yet? I'm like, do caddies make Corvettes? Take the next exit. The parking lot's on the left. Parking lot, she adjusts her makeup and she pops the lock. She got a stallion walk. They ain't got no choice. They have to watch. This the strip club. And she broke 100 right beside me. Her not getting at least a lap dance is not like me. And I like it. It ain't too many like me. We chilled for about an hour. We wasn't drunk, but we was teetering slightly. I drive now. It's too dark for white. Freaks come out at night and she getting freaky right behind me, right beside me. She removed and threw her panties out the window while I'm driving. Now I'm smiling. She about to be wilding out. All right, that's it. That's enough. That's enough.
All right.
That's enough.
All
I ain't
right.
giving y'all all of that.
I love that one.
I
love that one.
I'm not even halfway through the first
I
part.
know.
of the
I know you're
refight
not.
shit.
I know. I remember. I always remember the first part of it more.
Man.
You know.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
This
Yeah.
I'm
I love
not
it,
gonna
man.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. This episode makes me miss going to poetry events. I used to go to a lot more college, early 20s. I feel like I went to a lot more then, and then I feel like I just started going to a lot of rap shows. But I always loved the vibe of like poetry shows. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole vibe of
People are listening too. You know.
People are there for that.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody never came to a poetry show that wasn't there for that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. A hip hop
Other
show,
shit-
people there to drink and shit and whatever.
Support their homie or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you had a poetry show, you coming to see the poetry. And what I will say about the new wave of poetry, I guess, is it's less restrictions to it.
Okay, talk about that. What do you mean by that?
Well, Rambunctious, you know, we've had people on the Night of Words that do formal poetry, slam poetry.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's less of that. You know what I mean? Now it's more free thought poetry, the way you want to say it, poetry. You know what I mean? Because like the shit that I do, I can't do that. I can't go to no slam with that. It's too long.
Yeah.
It's not you know what I'm saying? As dope as it is, it's only dope.
Dude, I was nervous. I was nervous doing, and I still am sometimes because I'm not, I mean, I'll just be honest. The shit I do on your stage isn't spoken word.
Right.
I recite my rhymes and stuff as spoken word and do the rhythm different, but it's not spoken word. So I always get like, am I going to look like a rapper up here? You know what I'm saying? It works.
I get it.
But so I get that. So if that free thought space didn't exist, I might not be up there.
You understand what I'm saying?
You know, yeah, I love
it. It can be cool. It doesn't have to be so restricted and buttoned down and said in that poet's voice that the poets, you know, it ain't got to be all that all the time.
Yeah, is that a goal of yours to get that across to people?
It is. It is because that's part of it. And also, if you can write things that rhyme, you ain't got to be a rapper.
100%.
Poetry is cool too, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I used to love poetry, man. I was actually part of Poetry Underground. It was a club that we actually started in college. They didn't even have nothing like that, and we used to actually go around to different classes and just do poetry slams in their class. Like we would stop
Yeah.
That's dope.
and just do our shit in the middle of their shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
That's why I like being a part of the National Negro Poetry League because, okay, so I'm on Clubhouse, the app Clubhouse. And the one good thing about Clubhouse for me is they do a lot of poetry in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I didn't know that.
So every time I turn around, I'm in a poetry room and it's my turn. I can slay it.
Oh, see, you've been inviting me to it. I thought it was just people on there talking shit. And everything,
that's
right?
what I was trying to bring you in.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But
every time I invite you, that's why
I keep hearing the feds is on there and everything, people watching it, and I'm like,
they might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't doing too much. I'm trying to. Minimize.
I ain't saying they not on there. I'm definitely not gonna be that guy. You know what I mean? I just don't give a shit.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean,
but,
I kind of don't, but I got so much other shit. I'll be distracted.
But I'll tell you what, listening to on there is you get access to hear poets from all over the place, just all over the United States and UK and all over the place. And it. Let me say this. I'm an arrogant motherfucker, right? I really think that I got a top 10 wrist in the United States of America. Okay. And I still think the same. What I am learning about Clubhouse is it's a lot about inflection and tone. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's things that'll be
what we call
I write things to be read, but sometimes I have to realize that I'm writing something to be said. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And remember that before I say it, because I can read it dope or I can read it dope as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I want to, you know.
I mean, there's plenty of rappers I've seen, and that's I only can reference it that way because we call that same thing delivery, right? And cadence.
Yeah, it's basically delivering. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but there's rappers I've heard, lyrics is crazy. But they like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it makes a big difference. And don't worry, bro. You got that shit down. Don't even trip on that, dog.
I appreciate it.
Because you don't want it forced. You always sound like you just having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like you're talking to me, and you kind of want that. You know what I'm saying?
And I lean, and it's the stage. You see, I'm comfortable on stage. I like the stage. I like to command the stage. So it's not all what you hear, and it's some what you seeing. You know what I mean? And I'm realizing this as I'm writing. You know what I mean? I have an arrogant air about myself on stage. I think I'm the shit, and so it comes off with my
you should say confidence. You know you say confident, not arrogant.
Confident. You know what I mean?
You're not always arrogant, but you always confident.
I'm not humble, but I ain't always arrogant. You know what I'm saying?
Confident. You're confident.
But when I write things for the stage, I knew I was going to be on stage, and I knew I could smile this part, laugh this part. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I actually know what I'm doing when I'm writing and what I'm writing it for. And shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, how much time you got? You about where you at?
You don't know how long we've been in? Damn, it's 9:30.
Do you want to do another poem or no?
No.
It's up to you.
Can I not?
I don't got you. Nah. This has been great, man. I'm not. Nah, you good.
Can I come back again though? Can this be my first time?
Hell yeah, man.
Guest? Can y'all deal with me all the time?
This is a possibility. We might start doing twice a week. So, you know what I mean? That means we're gonna need more guests anyway. So
I'm dropping a book every month. I got something to talk about every time you turn around, man. I appreciate y'all having me on this.
100%. Tell the people where they can find all the pin guides, where they can find
social
medias, your clubhouse. Shout out whatever you want, where they can find you. If you want to shout your phone number, no, I'm playing.
All right, we're gonna start at YouTube. Follow me at YouTube at RR Moore. We start there.
MOORE, by the way.
RRMOORE, just like it
the
says
name
right
down
there.
It's right down
just
there.
like it says down there in the corner.
All right, I'm stupid.
My name is spelled funny. Rase is spelled funny. RAUSEA. Last name Moore. Catch me on Facebook. Catch me on Instagram. My books, though. Let's see here. I don't have the very first book, Rest and Greed, but then there's Resurrected and Riches, and there's After the Eulogy. This was in my first series, the Porter Ave series. These were the first 3 books I wrote. These are available on lulu.com, LULU.
LULU.com. Okay. And you know what? When you get off of here, you should send us all those in a message on that thread, just so we make sure we have them spelled correctly at the credits and stuff.
That's a bet. Outside of that, these books that I drop every month, these anthologies with other writers. I'm gonna repeat this because this needs to be understood. These anthologies, anybody that is including this anthology, I asked them to drop me like 3 or 4 poems, 3 or 4 submissions. If you do that, then you can do what I do, which is sell these books for profit.
I just want to say for your next one, I gave you 5 though. Just gonna say that.
I got you.
I'm just playing, but I owed you that.
plug.
I owed you that. I'm just fucking around. I owed you that. You know what I mean?
But
all love. I'm honored to be a part of that series and that you even think I should be. So I'm just
glad
playing
to have
around,
you, bro.
Yeah,
look at all these
man.
poems I got. Look, these are all poems.
Hey, that's a little bit of a flex. I love it. I love it.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
So we definitely gonna do 12 books in 12 months. We almost 5 months through it, and we'll keep dropping books. I got other little situations. I've been talking to the
big
library.
Big situations.
Library, trying to get my books in the library here.
Okay. In Madison?
In Madison, yes.
Okay, nice.
Last week I was in a panel in Beloit, Wisconsin for McGlinnigan fifth graders. I talked to them and I was a hometown hero.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow I have to read a book for a middle school, record myself reading a book so that they can have it read to them virtually.
Oh, that's so dope.
Today I'm going to pick apart the Passion podcast.
Hey,
so I think my life is going in the right direction.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. That's dope.
I'm a poor, starving artist, but I'm doing what I need to do. I'll be all right soon.
yeah, man. And I'm gonna need you on some stuff, doing a spoken word for me here soon. I'm gonna send you some stuff. That's one. I want in, man. It's been always a pleasure. We usually talking on, message and on the phone.
For sure.
But this is cool to see your face. I ain't seen your ass in a minute. So
bring me back. Let me show you new things I'm doing. I'm constantly working.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bring me back.
Absolutely.
Bring me back.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna do that. Yeah. We're gonna do that. Go catch Rose on all the platforms you mentioned. Pick Apart the Passion podcast. This has been a pleasure. Ping guys 1, 2, 3, 4. Go get them 5, 6, 7, 8, 12.
Yes, sir.
All them. Go get them. You know what I mean? Blessings.
Thank
brother.
you.
All right, bro. Love.
Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick the passion. Pick the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. 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 Passion.